In this video, I'm going to share with you some of the 90s DVD case covers from my collection in this Volume 1 video. Hey, it's me, AP, aka Mr. Movie Cheer, and welcome back to another video. So, 90s DVD case covers, Volume 1. This is going to be a series on the channel where I'm going to go through different 90s case covers. If you're a regular viewer of the channel, you'll know I'm a big fan of physical media and also physical media artwork, looking at case covers for movies, and I've got a DVD collection behind me. The 90s is a big era for me. I'm a big fan of the 90s era of movies, whether it be comic book movies, comedies, action movies, whatever it may be. I always think the 90s was a really, a world-class era for filmmaking. So it also offered up a few, really great pieces of artwork when it comes to case covers, and this is where I've got 6 90s DVD case covers to share with you today from the collection behind me. So let's get into it. 6 movies, let's go for it. So the first DVD case cover I am going to share with you is The Rock, starring Sean Connery, Nicolas Cage and Ed Harris. First off, I will just say, big fan of this movie. I think it's probably one of my favorite movies of all time. I really do like the Rock. Action movie, 1996 release. Great movie. But what I really do like is this cover here. I really like the artwork. For me, it's a very different colour scheme than you get to any other type of DVD case cover. I mean, sure, there may be some out there like it, similar. But what I will say, the oranges here, first of all, it's a very gritty movie at times, gritty action movie, in the setting of this movie on Alcatraz prison. And that cover feels like it's got that sort of grittiness to it. It's got this orange tint to all, it's orange glare over all of the characters' faces, but then there's like a grain to the actual look of this. I don't know whether this is just photography at the time. Maybe it was made to look grainy, or they wanted to get that effect. But to me, it looks like it was like an effect they wanted to go for, this grainy, orangey finish, especially with the grain. But then I love the actual text. The Rock is an action movie, and they got the Rock in this big text at the top really stands out. And if you look, I didn't really notice this, the text of the Rock is kind of made to look like a rocky surface, similar to the Alcatraz prison. But then you also get in the background, just here, you can see it shows Alcatraz prison, which I think is a really little cool kind of something you don't see if you just glance through it. But I think if you really pay attention to this case cover and the artwork on it, you can see the little, tiny small bits of art, and that's what I really like, them little small little touches. So I think it's really nice. I think it's a really kind of just shows, you look at this and I just think it's an action movie straight away. Connery's got a gun on him. It just looks like an action movie. It looks like something I would want to watch personally, and it's well worth checking out. Great cover from the 90s. The next movie I'm going to discuss is the Stargate movie, released in 1994, starring James Spader and Kurt Russell. This is the movie that came before the actual TV show, and in the TV show, the main roles were recast, James Spader and Kurt Russell's roles. First off, again, another movie I really enjoy, Stargate. I remember picking this up a few years ago at a car boot sale, and I've just really enjoyed it ever since watching it. But I will say this case cover is equally as good as the movie. Yeah, I think the artwork, first of all, this setting of this movie is in a different planet, and you've got all the pyramids and stuff like this. So you've got the pyramids here, and it's got this cartoony feel to it. The text is really cool as well. You've got this gradient look to the text. I think it's a really nice cover, and it's not like your standard DVD cover. It's like a slip cover. And then what is really unique about this is this. So I'm going to take this little slip cover. So first of all, I really love this. Like I said, the artwork on the front cover on its own is great. But what is really great about this DVD case cover is this here. So inside, you've got the disc. Hey presto, here's the disc. And then, as I said, this is a movie that is it's set in like a desert, and you've got pyramids everywhere. And I'm probably going away from the mic a lot here to do this. I tried doing this beforehand, but basically this then makes up a little mini pyramid. And I just think it's a really just something different. I love the fact that it's not like they went to a mass amount of effort to make it, but they've put a bit of effort in to make something to reflect the movie. It's got pyramids in the movie. I just think it's just a nice little something compared to your average DVD case cover. So you've got a really nice cover in itself here, first of all, and then you've got the uniqueness of when you open this, you can make a little pyramid. And if you do want to have a little display piece in your movie room, you've got it here with Stargate. It's wicked. So Stargate, brilliant movie, and a really creative DVD case cover. So next on my list, it is Jim Carrey in The Mask. Somebody stop me! I had to do it. The Mask, I really like this movie. It's a really fun comedy. Probably not my favourite Jim Carrey comedy, but I do think it's a really fun 90s movie. But what I do like about this is the cover. I think it's just a really, it stands out, this cover. It's bright. You see this guy on the front with the green face, the bright yellow suit, the main character, the Mask, Jim Carrey's character. And you just think, wow, this guy looks flamboyant, he looks vibrant. I always think of it, you go down a movie aisle and you've never heard of this movie before, and you see this down the aisle, and it's like, what do you think of this movie? Do you think that's an action movie, a comedy? I suppose you could look at that and think it's like some sort of like a gangster movie, because of like the suit. It's a very like a gangster style suit, but then you think, oh, it's a bright yellow suit and he's got green makeup on. So it's like, yeah, it takes it away. But I think to me, it just looks dead interesting because of the character and the way they've kind of also like hid his face a bit. So it's kind of like a bit of intrigue to see why has he got his hat down? What else is there to see here? Maybe. I like it. I think the text as well, you've got this really bright green text, very large, like the Rock movie cover, very large, bold text, and I think it stands out again. And, you've got text here from zero to hero, nice little tagline there for this movie. But I think it's a really cracking cover, bright, vibrant, a lot of colour, and I think they've used the colour really well. The yellows and greens really went for that yellow and green match, really mixed in with the black background here. Really good cover and really good movie as well. So we're going to the beginning of the 90s now with a movie called Total Recall. Have you heard of it? I definitely have, because this is a movie I used to always watch, and I still to this day watch a lot. Arnold Schwarzenegger in Total Recall, movie set on Mars, or was it all in his imagination? Who knows? But great movie, Total Recall. I love this. It's a sci-fi action movie, and it is fantastic. And I really do. I was looking through the different case covers in the collection before doing this video to get an idea of which ones I really do enjoy and really just enjoy looking at it for the artwork. And I think I like this for a few different reasons. First of all, you've got the main central character. You've got Arnold in the background. I'm sure most people know who Arnold Schwarzenegger is. And if they see his face, they're going to probably think it's going to be an action movie. So first of all, you're going down that DVD aisle, you're going down that movie aisle, you can see this movie, and straight away I think action movie. But then you've got this you've got like the planets here, you've got Mars. Obviously this movie is set on Mars. You've got like the Mars planet here. You've got this blue background, and you've got this really cool sci-fi like text of Total Recall. And to me, it looks like a sci-fi movie with that text. It looks very sci-fi, very futuristic type text, like a font. And then at the top, I love this, the way they put his name at the top, Schwarzenegger, and then they've done like this little like this little faded blur here underneath, like it's sort of like it's fading down slightly, is the text of his name. And I love it. It just like all feels like it blends and meshes into each other. You've got the planet, you've got his face, you've got the background, you've got the text of the logo, and you've got his name at the top. And it just all blends really well. And I love the colour scheme of the blues in the background, and then the reds here. I think it's a really nicely done cover. It's a really fantastic movie as well. I mean, if you've never checked out Total Recall, I know they did the remake a few years ago, and the remake, you know what, I'll be honest, the remake isn't that bad, but the original, the OG with Arnold is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Check out Total Recall, and it's absolutely really nice artwork for the case cover on this one. Now we go to 1998 with a movie called Soldier, starring Kurt Russell. This movie, I will say first of all, This movie apparently is kind of like I've heard online. I don't know where I've read it. Maybe it must be Reddit because that's all I go online really. Reddit or somewhere I've read like an article somewhere. Maybe it was with like a director where they said this is kind of like a spiritual successor to Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner. It's kind of like not like canonly, not officially set in the same universe, but it's kind of like a spiritual successor, kind of like set in that same universe as Blade Runner. I like it when they do movies like that. I mean, it was similar to The Rock, with it's been like talked about over the years that the character in The Rock, Sean Connery plays, is James Bond. I like that, and I like the fact like you could watch this and you in your head you can think, this movie is set in the same universe as Blade Runner. I like that idea that movies do that, and even if it is unofficial, it's cool that you can still, think in your brain, oh, this is, it's in the Blade Runner universe, unofficially. Wink, wink, wink. But yeah, let's get to this movie. Yeah, Kurt Russell, I will say it's a sci-fi action movie. I've not watched this in a few years. It's something I've been meaning to get back to, but I was looking at this cover today, I was looking at some of the Kurt Russell movie covers in general, and I thought, you know what, this is probably one of the best I've got in the collection anyway. I think it's a really great cover. So let's talk about it. First of all, I like the text here. I like the text, this solid white font, and again, a very futuristic type font here in this text, and you got his name at the top, Kurt Russell, in this orange text. What I then see is you've got his face here. You've got Kurt Russell's face. He's like the main, hero character, main protagonist in this story. And then you've got the location setting here of the movie, and then you've got some like spaceships in the background. But I think it really is a really good use of colour in this. They've used a ton of different colours. It's very much like a palette of like a sunset. It's like you've got like a yellows, you've got reds, you've got a bit of purple in the background here, and then your oranges. And the way they've used them colours, it looks absolutely picturesque. I love looking at this. I think it just looks absolutely beautiful. Really well constructed case cover. And it doesn't look like they've just like. I look at some modern case covers and it feels like they just went for generic case cover. Put this person's face here. This one, it looks like they wanted to create a piece of art in a way, and I love that. And I think it's kind of like an underrated movie, and it's a decent movie, this one. And this case cover is, it makes the difference. I think having a good case cover like this really does make the difference. And I don't know how many it sold when it was on DVD at the time when it was released, this, but I bet you a lot of people were intrigued to see this case cover down the aisle. I must say though, I don't like I've never liked these case covers where they open up like this. Do you know the little cardboard ones? That's my only drawback with this case cover, but the art on it just makes up for it. I think it's beautiful artwork, and it's a decent movie with really solid artwork. Soldier. Now, the final DVD case cover from the 90s I am going to discuss today is Batman Forever. This is one I've discussed in a case cover video before, I believe. But I've discussed it before because I think it is an absolutely beautiful case cover. Look, I know the 90s movies are a bit hit and miss, and some people feel, they are just like the dog muck of Batman movies. I'll be honest, I do like the 90s movies. I watched them a lot growing up. I really enjoyed them. I think this is a great movie. It's got Val Kilmer in as Batman, Bruce Wayne, Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face, and Jim Carrey as the Riddler. What a lineup. I mean, just to think Jim Carrey was in a Batman movie, it just blows my mind. But the art on this, again, very similar to the Soldier movie. I feel like they've wanted to create a piece of art here. I feel like, the filmmakers, the production company have said to them, to the art company, create a really nice piece of art that looks incredible, that makes people want to buy this movie even more so. And that's what they've done here. First of all, you've got the bat signal in the background, and what amazes me here is, you've got Batman here, but then you've got his cape wrapped around the rest of the side characters in here, the Riddler, Two-Face, Nicole Kidman's character, I don't know what her name was. I don't know. I have no idea. Was she a photographer? Who knows? Something like that. And Robin as well. And the cape wraps around, but then you've got the Batmobile in the background here as well, which also kind of like comes out of the cape. It's just really well constructed. I think it's just an absolutely fantastic piece of art. I love it. I think it looks like it looks vibrant even though it's dark colours. You know, it's very much like the dark colours of Batman's suit, and then you've got the brightness comes in with the fleur of these characters here, with Two-Face, with Riddler, with Robin, and they bring a bit of brightness to it. But I think it is just an artsy cover. It looks like a painting in a way as well. The visual look of it, it looks really well taken photos. I don't know what kind of like an emboss like sort of effect they put on them, but I really do like this 90s cover. I think it's a decent movie. Like I said, Val Kilmer wasn't a bad Batman. He's a top actor, and this is still a good movie in my opinion. But the case cover is a 10 out of 10 90s DVD case cover, a 90s masterpiece of a case cover, a beautiful piece of art, and I think it's a great one to finish these 6 movies. So I just want to finish off by doing a bit of a roundup of these movies, and I just want to pick out 2 of my favourites today of the 90s DVD case covers, and I think I'm going to go with these 2, Soldier and Batman Forever. Both, again, I think just really well-constructed pieces of case cover art. I think they're really great. I think good use of colour on both of them, and really just went out the way to create something a bit more unique than your average DVD case cover. I think it's really great to see these ones, and I love looking at these in the collection. I can look at these and think, you know what, this is nice. It's nice having, this is what, you know, for me, having physical media is all about, you know, enjoying not just the movie, but the case cover artwork as well. I like this, and this is why these are 2 of my favourites out of these 90s DVD case covers in Volume 1 today. If you enjoyed this video today, please do give it a like and check out the rest of the movie-related content on the channel, and let me know your thoughts on this video topic today, ladies and gents. What are some of your 90s DVD case cover favourites? Which ones of these today did you like? Which ones were your favourites out of these 6 movies? Let me know all your thoughts. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gents. Remember to spread a bit of movie cheer, and as always, I will see you next time.